Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Rabbi Box back with Parashat HaShavua, Parsha Torah portion of the week. This week we are still in the book of Deuteronomy in Parashat Ki Teitzei, Deuteronomy chapter 21:10 through 25:19. And the outline is as follows. The first section regards laws regarding family relations, marriage to a prisoner of war, an heir whose mother is an unloved wife, the incorrigible son. The second section is laws regarding neighbors, nature, and clothing. Third section, laws regarding sexual misconduct, such as false and true accusations of unchastity, the penalty for adultery, forced and consensual sex with a betrothed woman, forced sex with an unbetrothed woman. Section 4 is laws regarding forbidden relationships, prohibition on marrying a father's former wife, restriction on who may enter God's congregation. The fifth section, miscellaneous laws, laws regarding soldiers, slaves, and prostitutes, laws regarding commitments to God and neighbors, more laws regarding marriage, and laws regarding objects taken in pawn, kidnapping, and skin affliction. The sixth section is laws protecting the vulnerable, obtaining pledges and paying wages, prohibition on transgenerational punishment, protecting the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, limits on flogging, prohibition on muzzling an ox when it is threshing, a levirate marriage, punishment of a woman who intervenes in her husband's fight, and honest weights and measures. And then the final section is the charge to remember Amalek. And I want to focus specifically on those three verses today, because even though it's the end of the Torah portion, it is something that we are to be reminded of for the rest of our time in existence. And it begin the Torah verses are chapter 25 verses 17 through 19. Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek baderech b'tzeitchem mimitzrayim. Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey after you left Egypt. How, undeterred by fear of God, he surprised you on the march when you were famished and weary and cut down all the stragglers. Therefore, when your God grants you safety from all your enemies around you in the land that your God Adonai is giving you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven, and do not forget. Many times when people focus on these lines, they remember, or they see it as a reminder of all of the hatred and negativity and anger and really the terrible behavior that Amalek had and that he enacted against our people, the Israelites. And as we look forward through history from there, or back in history from today, all of the major villains, if you will, of our history in some way relate to Amalek, whether it's Haman, boo, coming from the line of Amalek, or it's Hitler, a reminder of what happened in Egypt, or outside of Egypt. But what I want to focus on with regards to Amalek is this. Yes, what he did was terrible and awful. And we should always remember what our enemies do to us. That we should always have memories, good and bad. But what I want to focus on is the fact, the main reason why I believe we still remember Amalek. It's because we are to remember what happened to us as a reminder of what happened to us in Egypt. Is a reminder to always take care of those less fortunate. We say we need to remember that we were slaves in Egypt. Remember to take care of the stranger and the widow and the child and the orphan. Yes, that's all true. But also the story of Amalek and the way that we were treated by Amalek shows us also the need to treat other people the opposite of the way that Amalek treated us. And really that's to me the crux of this portion. All of these laws, all of these rules that we are being told to follow and being told, how we're supposed to live a certain way, all goes back to a reminder that we were slaves and we were treated terribly, and we should always treat those who are less fortunate, and really all people differently, positively. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And that extends to all of our neighbors, regardless of where they're from, who they are, their gender, their sexuality, their origin. All of that doesn't matter. What matters is that we're humans and we treat other humans with kindness. That's the message. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you soon.